Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check. Of course, brought to you by Because Bitcoin. A reminder, as always, every day I have to say it, there is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about these markets. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. It's officially the middle of the week, although, we are coming off a long weekend, so it does feel a little bit like a Tuesday. But yeah, I'm Snorlax. You guys also know me as Tommy. I'm joined, of course, by Dr. Will's Outlook, Max, and Tucker. Although I think Max and Tucker are going to leave us here in just a second. So you're going to get a big dose of the doctor and me here
We'll
to
be
start.
back. We'll be back. Tucker and I got to hop off for like 15 minutes, and then we'll be back. Don't you worry.
Building the business and building the brand for you guys so that we can continue to put on these shows every single day. But yeah, I hope you guys have had a great start to your week. Real quickly, before we start cooking, before we start sharing that big juicy alpha, we would love and appreciate if you guys could smash that like button or gently caress it. Either way, your support means the world to us. And of course, we tweeted about our YouTube channel earlier. On our Twitter today. So check that out. We've had a lot of growth here over the last few weeks, and that's in large part due to you guys as an audience showing up here each and every day and smashing that like button, importantly. So yeah, let's talk about markets, guys, because, I guess we are having a bit of a down move on Bitcoin really to start this week. We had some movement yesterday, right? That brought us down on Bitcoin, on altcoins. And I was I'll be honest, I was kind of expecting a little bit more strength from certain altcoin markets than what we've had since we've hit this little low. Now, I will say, I think that there are some assets that are looking particularly perky, and they usually, or I will say they mostly have a bit of an AI flavor to them at the moment, which isn't surprising that the sector is so strong. I'd have to imagine that these are some coins that will run really hard whenever Bitcoin does kind of find that local low. But for now, Bitcoin's bleeding, altcoins bleeding. That's usually how crypto goes until Bitcoin starts to chad once again, or at the very least can find some stability. Sorry, my cat wants to get out onto the porch. I'll let him out in just a second. But yeah, I think that Bitcoin's in a bit of an interesting spot here because we are now at range lows. This is theoretically where we do want to see Bitcoin hold in order for more risk on speculation behavior to kind of play itself out here over the next few days. But we'll see, right? ETH has been very strong. That goes without saying. I don't love the fact that we have rejected from the highs at 3K the way that we have, but ETH is still the stronger asset than Bitcoin. So you have to imagine if any renewed bid on Bitcoin comes in, you're probably going to see the same on ETH. As far as equities go, guys, it's NVIDIA earnings day, right, Will? Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it is NVIDIA earnings day. Very big day for the markets. And I mean, look, we've been front running this earnings call for quite a bit, not just on NVIDIA, but also in the Qs. So it's only surprising, right, that we've seen a little bit of profit taking here into that binary event, some de-risking. I'm interested to see how that kind of develops here over the next, not just this afternoon with the immediate spike, because the IVs are currently pricing in like a 10% move on a $1.7 trillion stock, which is unbelievable for one, but also, kind of how the market's going to digest it here over the next few days, I think is equally important since we're trading in that quote unquote window of weakness that we love to talk about in the back half of every month that, kind of occurs after expiration and after OPEX, each month. But what's up, Will? What are you seeing in the markets, man? How are you doing? Happy Wednesday. I'm going to go off camera here for just a second so I can let my cat off, but I'll be back on camera in just a second.
No, you're good. I think as far as markets go and everything that's going on with the market, there's going to be a slight pullback, at least from what I'm seeing as far as markets go, or at least we're already experiencing that this morning. I think just a lot of people are expecting a lot deeper move than what's going to probably happen here. And in that same scenario, especially with Bitcoin and a lot of other ones, I mean, you probably got people calling some kind of scenario where NVIDIA stops here and the the choo-choo train is over and all of it ends, right? I love to see it. You love to see it on Twitter. You got people sitting here cheering as if they were right the whole time. And it's like, bro, if you were right, where were you at NVIDIA at 150? Where were you at NVIDIA at 200? Where were you at NVIDIA 400? Because currently today, I believe we're 685. So I mean, people talking about $100 pullback on NVIDIA is the end of all assets is funny. I don't get it.
I
Um,
think
I didn't.
at this point, Nvidia's is like it looks like it's going to go higher to me. This is probably like this today is probably the local bottom.
Yeah, I could see that too. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is such a big pullback for Nvidia that I could see this trading sideways maybe for a month while people hesitate before they bid again. And it's gonna be like, and this is really it's funny how the stock market is lining up so well with crypto as far as happening. It's almost like you could say these 4 year scenarios actually work. So I think a lot of people don't really look at that. They don't look at the timing, how it lines up for these happenings and so on and so forth. But I would say if people just zoomed out and took a look at it, when does the happening line up? Do you know, Tommy, when the happening lines up, what it lines up with? What year is this?
20, the year of the dragon. Is that what you
Well,
meant?
Year of the Dragon's one thing, but what else is coming at the end of this year?
Oh,
What
the
exciting
election.
event?
Yeah.
The election. I
I keep
mean,
forgetting it's an election year, man. I feel like the last 4 years went by so quickly.
yeah, yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, and that's a big point that I think a lot of people miss or at least don't understand is that elections specifically affect markets, right? And you'll either get a bid into a election or you'll get some kind of weird standstill into an election. A massive sell-off? I don't think so. I haven't really seen a real election year that's been a massive sell-off outside of a president stepping out of office, right? So if you've got a president that's had an 8 year cycle and that president has no potential of being reelected, you could see that handoff from one president to another be a little bit shaky. But because we have a president who's been in basically for one term, and we have another president who's been in for one term, and we have a bunch of other people trying to be president. In addition to that, all these people have potential to be president. So because they all have potential to be president, that means that if I'm the current president, I want this market to look as pristine as possible, at least going into the election, right?
Right.
At least going into the election. And I think not enough people take that into account when they're looking at these markets and they're like, oh yeah, this is where it all it's like, no, 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 no. If Biden has to print, he's gonna print. If Biden has to cut taxes temporarily before he raises them 4x, he's gonna do that. And that's what people don't understand. Going into an election year, you could see some really crazy stuff. Especially when the current standing president has, I'm not saying he is or is not, or will not be reelected, but has the potential to be reelected. They want this thing to look good. I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
No, I mean, you're absolutely right. It's, I think 2022 or not 2022, but 2023 rather. And so far an extension into 2024, I think people underestimated the reasoning behind certain flows in the market. And I kind of identify two different narratives as the cause of that. The first one being, and you've especially seen it more lately, funds have a mandate to allocate, right? They have to outperform their benchmark rate, not just their benchmark, but also all of their competition, right? Because otherwise people are going to bring their liquidity to other hedge funds. And so they have to allocate. They have almost like a literal mandate to allocate to these assets, which has been, in turn driving asset prices higher. And I think people had a huge underestimation of how much capital kind of was applicable to directly of what I just kind of outlined, or at least kind of under that umbrella. And then I think the second thing that people really underestimated as a huge liquidity driver into markets over the like 14, 15 months is the election. Not just in, stocks go up, but in the efforts that political officials will take in order to prolong these liquidity cycles and avoid, it's like you said, it's totally about cosmetics. If you are a residing president, you want to get reelected. And by all accounts, this is going to be another very close election in the United States. You have to keep that market looking as pristine as possible, because you need an edge, right? You have to make sure that you're giving yourself the best possible opportunity as November approaches. So I do agree with you. That's a long-winded way of saying it, but it's kind of funny how, I remember when people talked about these two things at kind of the start of 2023, we almost discounted their importance, or at the very least, we kind of, it's like you realize that you have the information present, but you don't know that it's going to play as big of a role as it did and has. So, it's hard to see that trend shifting in any material way before the election.
Yeah, and I bring it up again. I personally hate politics. That's just my MO, right? Like, I think it's all just a pony show with a bunch of people putting on makeup and pretending to be something they're really not. Um, and so I try not to involve myself with politics specifically, or who's president or who's not president, because I think it's a sleight of hand to keep you distracted from the real thing that they're doing, and that's robbing you through inflation, right? And saying it's to promote investing. And a lot of people don't understand that factor, but I mean, we don't have to get too deep into the weeds on that one. I would say more of, what could we see potentially is we'll see more fluffing of the market, at least at minimum, right? You gotta make this thing look beautiful, at least going into the election, even if it's really not on the back end. If we got to throw a mask on it because makeup's just not quite getting us there, then that's what they're gonna do. What does that mean? Potentially, that means that we could see some kind of quantitative easing. We could see some type of scenario where they start printing money, where they start lowering rates. Like, I'm sure they're going to pull all cards, full no stop type moves, right?
It's funny
Um,
because they've basically been doing QE, but they've been doing it under, like, they've been coming up with
Under
these
our guise.
workarounds in order to do it, so that it doesn't look like they're just indiscriminately printing money to prop the market up, which is kind of what they've been doing. Like backdooring valuations higher, but it can continue, right? And you've talked about it, Will. I've talked about it. It's a feature, not a bug, that they can do this.
Yeah, yeah, and exactly. And you got to know when that feature is going to be turned on and when it's going to be turned off. And that's the thing, right? Like, personally, I'll tell you this: there's a lot of people that are in the camp for one president over the other, and they feel like one president be more competent than the other, and they feel like this and that. And I agree. I think in some cases I could see some of that argument, but I think in other cases you have to consider both of these two current presidents that everybody is rooting for are in their last term. They have no obligation to not see this thing crash and burn after they get reelected. So, like, a lot of people are not understanding that, right? Like, the causation will be the repercussions of the next cycle. And this is why I tell people there's always bear markets, right? Is because you're going to see this thing run up and you're going to see it run hard. But I think after that run hard happens, you're going to see them come back and take it all away, going into another bear market. And a lot of people will not be expecting that either.
Well, one of the things I've kind of warmed up to, and I'll go ahead and let's look at some charts, because let's do it. Let me share my screen. One of the things I'm kind of warming up to, Will, is the possibility that the S&P is all the way back here, and as far as like where it is in the liquidity cycle, like here almost, because we're breaking all-time highs. I don't really, I'm kind of choosing to ignore this price action, because this was more of like a Volmageddon short closing bounce, and then you had the real rebalance. So I'm just kind of like reviewing this more or less as like a potential all-time high break, specifically like right here. We have maybe some structural concerns, but the bid on the market is ultimately still strong. And you probably don't see anything like this until 2025 or maybe even very late 2024, if that's the case. But it just goes to show, I mean, they will kick the can down the road until they can't anymore. And kind of an interesting parallel I'm drawing with 2019 at the moment is I actually read some stuff this week about the reverse repo market being almost totally drained, which, you know, isn't necessarily a huge cause for concern yet, but it could be down the road. And I also remember reading something about that in 2019. There was a reverse repo scare, I think in September. So around like here, obviously we had that huge melt up after that. And then we had the crash. So, I mean, you can have kind of warning signs persistent for a very long time and price still go much higher before that happens. I'm not saying that I think we're going to get another COVID. I'm just saying, like, I think it's interesting parallel to that period. But, you know, on a more local basis, the S&P is kind of losing momentum, right? I mean, this aggressively steep trend line that we've had is kind of breaking. So maybe we just kind of chop. Maybe we get some sort of, I'm really not sure what I think the S&P is going to do. Well, I'm going to be honest, because we have so much room here within this trend that realistically we could pull back like into here and then give a really aggressive bounce out of it. You know, if I were trading crypto, I could see something like that. Bitcoin's done something like that, you know, where you just get these super aggressive pullbacks within the trend that just bounce even harder out of it. And we kind of got this megaphone, like more or less working with equities. So it does look like the trends are getting steeper, right? Like,
and more volatile.
Yeah. Which to me signals that we're probably about to hit. God, what is my cat eating? That's not good, but probably signals we're about to hit. You know, I'm kind of expecting something like this on equities personally, like a dip in the window of weakness, big bounce into a new high, and then probably some chop. So
yeah, I mean that megaphone could fail too at some point, right? Like, and you could have some kind of catastrophic breakdown, but that I wouldn't think that would occur till much later. I think that the biggest thing that people got to keep their eyes on, at least for now, is, you know, what the potential is here and which side of the play do you want to be on. And I would honestly say it's still the long side in a lot of ways. There's still a lot of positioning that hasn't been taken and a lot of ultra beta that has to get bid. Now, why does it have to get bid? Why did I use the word have to? I use the word have to because if you look at this, how many people have sat sidelined and now need to catch up on their portfolios before everybody pulls their funds? There's a lot of people right now. They're like, oh yeah, we just buy bonds, guys. This thing's gonna crash in like a year, and now look at it, right? They can't even come up and they can't even explain what is going on. So now what do they have to do? Well, they have to perform. These are performance portfolios, right? So they have to come into these board meetings and be like, look, we were able to keep up with the market, or we were able to beat the market. And if they're not able to do that, they're not going to get their investors to stay. Their investors are like, look, these guys are beating the market. You're not. Why am I even here? And they're going to pull their funds. So these fund managers are so badly positioned in a lot of ways that they're going to have to bid ultra high beta. Well, where's ultra high beta? It's on your small caps, big caps, crypto, and seed investing, right? They're going to have to involve themselves in super risky plays to be able to run this back. And not only are they going to have to involve themselves in super risky plays, in addition to that, they're going to have to pay for advertising and everything else to bait in all the retail. There's a lot here, I think, that a lot of people are not considering structurally that, you know, is going to end up causing this thing to continue to go vertical. And it's forced. It's forced positions. We're now at this point in the game forcing people into the market. Bitcoin's almost all-time high. S&P is extremely above all-time high. Nvidia hasn't even given anybody a chance to short whatsoever. Like, now everybody's being forced in.
I mean,
So
I
it's like,
bet people are shorting into here thinking that it's probably topped, and then we're going to get one last like huge 50% extension before it really cools off for a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna breach that all-time high there pretty easily, I think. We'll shoot in that. That's why I always had that $800 target. I knew they were gonna pull back in the 700s, and then they're gonna rip it right back up because you got to break all-time highs so you can break down all those shorts. And then once you break down all the shorts, then you cool down again because now people are super scared to short, and now you've got no short side to actually go against. You don't have to pay anybody.
I am curious with the AI and AI beta. Like NVIDIA to me looks like it can still run to 900, but then I look at a super micro computer and that looks like a blow off top to me. Like I don't know if I think that SMCI can make new highs, but I definitely think NVIDIA can.
Well, here's the thing. That's a pretty
This
good
would be a great
retrace
buy
too,
soon. I
right?
think this will be fantastic buy soon. What were you saying?
But I think that it's a good retrace too. Because if you were to put C3 AI against the one you micro, you can look at the two side by side. Micro just got crushed from the high,
Good.
and it arguably it'll probably trade sideways for a couple months before it ends up moving again. I mean, look how far down that low is, where you fell down to.
You know what this looks like to me? This looks like the whole double soul high accumulats blow off.
Accumulate. Yeah.
Accumulats blow off. I mean, that looks exactly like soul to me.
Yeah. But like, if you look at that retrace there, see how it's like V down. Now go look at how C3 AI first dropped.
Are you talking
See
about
how
like
it
up
just like
here?
straight down.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about from where we are now.
Oh.
Yeah. So see how it ran straight down and just sat there and then kind of traded sideways. So
You
you had
talking
that
about here?
big flush.
Yeah.
No, from the high.
Here. Ah,
Yeah.
I see. You think we might not get another run up on this thing if this is an indicator. So it might be like, let's see.
Yeah, the funny part is these things keep on like they keep double topping with a higher high. That's what I've noticed this year. That's what I keep betting on a lot of these moves, and it plays out almost every single time. This is the same move I think Nvidia is about to do. It's literally about to rip a little bit higher just to take out shorts. That's all it is. It's a move to take out shorts, right? The people that
And am I
shorted
gonna
at the
have to
right
buy
time.
some super micro computer calls here? Man. It's funny though, because did you see the Reddit post that I sent in the Discord over the weekend of the guy who he aped like his entire account into super micro computer calls at the Pico top?
Oh my
He's
god.
basically down everything. I don't know when his expiration was, but this would technically bail him out. That's funny
Yeah,
as
but
hell.
do you think he's going to take the bailout? That's the problem, right? When you get that
I
higher high, people don't take the bailout. What they do is they're like, oh, it's going to continue higher, it bounced.
God, I am not sure I want to live in a world where the super micro computer floor is at like $600. That's kind of crazy to think about.
Well, here's the thing: it looks like C3 AI is about to take off. So all it would be is it would be there for a while, and then it's going to take off again.
Yeah, this is very clean. I don't even remember where I found that fractal that I had on it from, but I definitely got it from like a crypto pattern somewhere. Um, but yeah, this will probably be a huge outperformer in like 2025.
That's what I'm saying.
And really
That's
like for
exactly
it,
what I'm saying.
I mean, this is probably just render. I mean, realistically speaking. Yeah, this is
Bro,
basically
Render
just
is
a
a
render chart.
runner, man. That thing. Look, I was telling people like cents, man. Like, hey, buy down here below $1, and this thing has just been
Oh my goodness,
absolutely killing it.
bro. Look at this. It's literally a render chart.
That's what I'm saying. All look, the AI people think the narrative's dead, man. They think it's dead. Like nobody's bidding AI right now. They're all chasing the next bag, right? On Twitter, I mean, modularity is going to be a thing for sure, but like that's what everybody's chasing right now. AI is the setup, though. It's the setup. It's had its cooldown, and it's going to run again. I've been thinking that almost for like a solid month now. I'm just like, dude, I'm like AI is going to be revived. Watch.
It looks fantastic. Yeah, so just wait for the daily trend reclaim. Man, it's starting, or it's trying. That's crazy. The question is
That's
whether or not AI will be just a Q1 bit again, or if it's going to be an all year thing.
bro. I think when the market actually like goes full like degen, that it's going to be more than just a Q1 thing, right? I think it'll be a full cycle.
What if I told you Bitcoin won't break 100K this bull cycle? You likely won't believe it until it happens. I mean, I don't know about. I'm going through the comments right now, Will. I mean, Bitcoin can go to 100 or not. I think there's going to be significantly better returns in altcoins going forward. And that's going to become more and more the case. Like that's always been the case for most crypto cycles, but I think that's going to become even more kind of the theme that you see develop. Like you get these. I forgot who said it, but it's like I mean, the market is basically just two types of plays right now. It's for crypto standards, low beta, high opportunity, and then you have super high beta, low opportunity, but like it's more of a lottery ticket. So you're basically either gambling on, assets that you kind of know will appreciate, but they might appreciate more slowly versus like these these lottery ticket meme coins, super high down the risk curve type of altcoins. Just very funny. But I think that you're because of the returns on Bitcoin and ETH are somewhat stagnating, you'll probably see that continue to be a theme.
I don't know, bro.
Um,
I was told lower lows on ETH at 2,200, and we're currently at 3,000. I'm just saying.
well, yeah, but it's like, it's a decent move on ETH, and
Yeah,
Nvidia did more than that. You could have just bought calls on Nvidia rather than ETH.
that is true. That is true.
So, but ETH will have its day. I FUD ETH, but it will have its day. Let's
Um,
see.
Somebody asked about what is render. So
You
render
got
is
that one?
basic. Yeah, it's a decentralized rendering software. Helps artists, whoever is basically looking to render things. That's I mean it's in the name. Helps them be able to do so by basically allowing you to connect to other people's GPUs and utilize those to render whatever you're trying to render. Um, Rendering honestly is one of the highest dollar amount industries out there, whether it comes to movies, whether it comes to construction, 3D models, whether it comes to art, whether it comes to commercials. Whatever you do, it usually involves some type of rendering. And so render itself is really capitalizing on a market that is just not paid attention to enough. Primarily GPUs, but this opens up the door to allowing you to not always have the best equipment, but be able to use other people's equipment to do so and lower your overall upfront cost, while using the network and so on and so forth.
Doesn't this look like an Nvidia before it did this move right here?
Bro, that's the exact move I
Failed
was
it.
talking about on Bitcoin. If you were to pull up Bitcoin before it chatted to 52, it did a very similar grind up.
Yeah, it did. Bitcoin now looks
It's
a little bit iffy to me here though, especially because we had, just locally speaking, that is, I'm just talking lower time frame now, guys. We had that big volume into the highs. It's been, I think, a fight for a lot of people to get out. But what I could see, maybe something like this, and I could see a squeeze back up to this POC before another drop, or I could just see, down sloping momentum, pop, and then chop, right?
I look at it like this though too, Tommy. I think not enough people do this, but like these market cap valuations are so low, it doesn't even matter how hard renders ran, right? Buying in at optimal time, sure. Getting a good entry, sure. But like these market cap valuations are so low on a lot of these altcoins that actually do have utility that like you could basically buy any of these and like literally just close your eyes, pick a spot and buy. And into the bull run, I think you'll be up exponentials.
We'll probably look back on render at the prices that it's been available for as long as it has and be furious for not buying it. I say that to myself because I remember trading render at like $1.50. It was probably below like $2 or $3 earlier this year, or not earlier this year, but like a few months ago, and I didn't even think to accumulate. But
Umalot.
accumulate. This looks like it's like a bottom on the inverse chart to me is trying to form, but it's pretty clean actually. But whenever it does bottom, I like render a lot. The thing that, like, Sol, let's talk about Sol because it's important. And we always say like Sol leads the market. It's a sign of strength to lead the market. I kind of had like these lines in the sand. I want to say I messed them up, but let me redraw this profile. Yeah, so I did mess up my little line in the sands, but basically that's better. You know, Sol needs to reclaim this level, or I'm going to have to think that this is repeating what we got here.
How are likes looking right now? Just out of
That's a good
curiosity.
question, though. We have not bugged them at all for the like button. I'm about to check on you guys.
I don't know.
Let's see. We are at 45 likes, guys. Come on. Come on. I know it's just me and Will today, but we got Max and Tucker coming later. We've been given some great AI alpha to you guys. I mean, some amazing charts on things like NVIDIA, render. That's probably going to be a big winner for you later this week or maybe even next week. So do us a favor and just hover your hand over that mouse button real quickly and smash that like button. We appreciate you guys a ton.
I'm much cheaper than Jackus. If we can get to like ignore freaking market cap. If we can get to 65 likes, all right, 65. That's like literally walking up to a homeless person and giving them a sandwich. Okay, 65 likes. I'll give you guys a gem that I haven't even dropped to our BB Discord. All right. So
Wow.
that's all I'm looking for. That's all I'm looking
Make
for.
sure to tell me what it is so I can fill before you show.
Oh, you know what? You can fill after they get in. Don't matter.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
It's low. It's low.
Yeah. Yeah, Sold kind of looks like it did in February or March to me. Something like that. I don't know if it's going to go quite that low, but you know, it failed to make another high after a consolidation period. Then we had February and March. Obviously, the rest is history, but somewhat of a similarity I'm drawing with this period is the fact that Sol did not make a higher high. I don't know if I think it'll go down to 60 though. That'd be kind of wild.
What's that?
What are you thinking
Solana?
on Sol right now? Yeah, what are you thinking on Sol? It looks kind of cooked to me, locally speaking. I was hopeful it could maybe be doing something like ETH in like back here. Let's see if we can get it to load. I was kind of hoping that Sol was like right here. You know, we had DeFi summer blow off top, reaccumulate, and then you had this super aggressive vertical accumulation. I was kind of hoping that Sol was like in here, but I'm starting to doubt that increasingly more as it looks weaker. But what are you thinking on Sol right now?
I think it's a grind long. So anywhere between like 90 to like 100 is kind of your low. And then from there we could definitely, take off again. That's where I think like the lowest you're gonna go. And that's not a big deal for me, but for people who have been sitting here getting chopped up between the highs and the lows, it might be a big deal for them. Um, yeah. Soul's a pretty interesting one. I'm so um unsure on what this thing's gonna do now at this point. Before I would shit talk and be like, "This is it. It hasn't got much more to give." But I mean, we're here. The cycle hasn't even really picked up, in my opinion. Like, how much higher can we go? Now I'm distraught because I don't know. I don't know at this point how high this thing can actually run. Um, Do I
like
think it's gonna
this.
give you a 50x? I don't know. I don't think so. But like, this thing could definitely still have. It still has legs, right? $500,000 sold. I don't know at this point. You know, it's anybody's guess. Why don't you drop a fib on that real quick, Tommy? From high to low, from peak to trough, man. Peak to trough.
Not a big
Trend-based fib
fibor,
extension. What?
not a
Or,
fibor, but
come
let's
on
try
now,
that again.
Tommy. You
There
can
we
be
go.
a fibor if you try hard enough.
Man,
All the way to the bottom to
No. That's
where
good.
we
That's good.
bounce.
That's good. Those are good extensions.
Nah, you got to come to the bottom. There you go.
all the way to the
Started from the.
bottom.
No, you're good. No. Where you got it? Where
Okay.
you got it? Started from the bottom. Now we here. All right. What's that? 1618.
140.
Yeah, 146. Could see
I
that.
don't think that's the top, but you know, could be.
3618 will be the
I kind of
top
like this one,
locally.
man.
So
Yeah.
dang, that's such a. It's such a hard drop though, man. Like that
This
drop
91.
is what threw it off.
Fuck it. 91 is fine, boys. 91 is fine.
That's what I was saying. I was saying like between like 90, right? 90 to
That is a
100 is the
shove.
floor.
This is ETH from Tucker. I don't know if you saw where I pulled the fractal from, but it's ETH from here,
Where?
from right here.
Hang on. You're
I
lagging.
fear, Isaiah, your $50 fills will not happen until the next bear market. I'll tell you that. That's what I think is going to happen there with Solana.
Let's just go ahead. And,
Oh my God, Tommy.
this is about to be the. You guys better hit the like button for the amount of massaging I'm about to do.
Okie Pokey
my
said we hit the McDonald's McChicken sandwich and got to the 65 likes. So the gym, I'll throw it out there for you guys. You can pull it up, Tommy. It's Akash,
Hang on.
AKASH.
Oh gosh,
Hang
the
on.
Turkish.
There's a lot of alpha in what's happening right now. Yeah. Tommy, what is this?
This is ETH, man.
That
27.
target. Oh my God. What is that? Not even an all-time high for Sol? We need to adjust targets dramatically higher.
Hold on.
Dramatically.
Look, he's massaging. Okay.
Wait. Was this ETH when it tapped what?
This is ETH
like,
when it tapped. Man, you're gonna make me.
what?
Go back. This was
2026?
even here, man.
2026, brother. Go back to Sol.
I mean, I've talked to you about this theory that I have, Tucker. Like,
you think we top this year and this do nothing for like a year and a half and then just fucking
oh
blow
god,
off?
that would be ass.
Chop
would be terrible.
sideways. Chop suey. SUI. Chop suey.
I mean, yeah, that would be what, double top for Sol. Is that what happened to ETH though?
ETH
No,
didn't go much higher, bro. It didn't go much higher.
Here,
I'm
just
kind
gonna
of viewing
pull it up.
this as market structure break, reaccumulate, and send.
What
I mean,
what-
I
what
literally
was-
just threw this on for the first time today, so no opinion
What-
other than that.
What was ETH's top in 2017? Wasn't it like 1,700 or something like that? Or am I way off on that?
It was 1400.
All right, cool. Yeah, so I was pretty close. So if you take 1,400 and then break that, what was the previous top? Like 5K or 4,500 or something like that?
For what?
For
ETH.
ETH's 2021.
The first top was 4,300, 4,400.
So if we just do the division there, right? You're looking at a solid 3x. So let's say Sol matches ETH, you know, top to top. You're looking at like a 3x from high, right? So what, like a 350 Sol, 400. That's
Wait. So no, Tommy, but Sol already had the 2017 ETH cycle, right? We're saying it's one cycle
Did it?
behind. Yes.
I mean, yeah, it could just replicate the
So
pattern.
now it
Otherwise.
should do the 2021, and we just had
that's what I'm
2019.
saying.
We just had the
That's what I'm saying.
2019 bear market for Sol.
Well,
So-
I was just saying though, Tucker, I've like combed the ETH price action from this last bull, and I just don't really know that I see a period necessarily replicable to it, to what Sol's done. Like
2020 September, October.
2020 September,
2020.
but we never got a blow off top like this. At least, I mean, we definitely didn't print anything. I thought we were maybe like right here, but that failed this week.
Yeah, the only thing, because Sol never had like the 2019 pop that ETH did in this current bear market, right? Like it never had the June 2019, like, you know, whatever it was, like 300% move. But if you just take it from like this, let me just share this real quick. I'll give it back. I'm just gonna Tommy it from you.
No, go for it.
I know this is stretched and it's not accurate because I didn't set it up quite yet, but like this type of you know, we chatted, we pull back, and then you just do one of those. Like that's because Sol never had this, right? There was nothing. Sol just got destroyed. But obviously you're way farther away from like the shoulder ETH was than Sol was here. So Sol has made it back up farther, right? So like you would have expected this to occur like in here.
I just would have felt like if we were at that part or the equivalent of the ETH 2020, 2021 cycle, like we probably would have accelerated this week.
Yeah, because how long did this take is the question. So once we like got up here, till we broke the highs, it was 105 days until we broke the highs from when we got up here. So no, you got a little time. You got till April 1st. If we're just going from a time perspective, you got till April 1st, I would say. It feels like we're doing some shit like this, doesn't it? Doesn't that look a little bit? And we're just gonna send. I don't know. The market cap is probably different though. I think we did this one time.
Not the market caps. It kind of lines up with what I was looking at for WIF though. some weird confluence in timing maybe, but I had that's not it. No, let me get the WIF perp. Yeah. The WIF perps on Binance look a lot like SHIB. If you
going back to yours.
Yeah. I have that in blue. But that's the SHIB overlay on WIF from the low before it pumped again. So yeah, and I'm not showing you guys where the target is unless you hit the like button. But I'll tell Tucker and Will after.
Tommy coming in. Tommy said, I'm not telling you unless you hit the like button.
The target, yeah, just don't show
the target's up there, man. I will say that, but it looks a lot like SHIB.
You may think you know, but you don't really know. But I did want to talk about one thing though, other than the coins that we normally talk about. Akash, man, that one. I was talking about that at the lows, like at like $1, bro, and then like, and here's the thing, it's 840 mil market cap. 840 mil market cap.
It's funny because they could never pump this back in the 2021 bull run, and now they're finally pumping it, of course.
RWAs, bro. And here, I'll give you another one, Tommy, that's going to run with this. The graph.
Oh, man.
The graph. I remember the graph from last cycle,
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Look at it. Tell me they're not matching. They're twinsies, man. They're twinsies.
Oh, man. Good old Gert.
Good old Gert.
Look, you already got it marked out.
So, actually. Yeah, I would guess that Gert is like here.
It's in its first inning, man. It's
Yeah,
literally
it
in its
is.
first inning.
Oh my goodness. Gotta love the massaging.
That the VCs couldn't get pumped in 2021, they're gonna pump them this cycle because they want out. They want out of these coins.
Let me out of the vaporware.
Eh,
Let me out.
Never,
So while
man.
they're pumping, I'm gonna take advantage of the pumponomics that they create.
Okay, we're almost getting there. Man, you're gonna make me buy graph.
I'm telling you, man. Look, I am telling you.
Why does this look so good?
It does, doesn't it? I'm
And
dropping gems, man. I'm dropping gems.
you're gonna make me buy graph, Will. That's a cardinal sin.
Graph and Akash, man. Akash is so low on the market cap side, it's not even funny.
Like here, yeah. Oh man. Wow, man. Wow, man. You heard it here first. Graph to 60 cents in March.
You guys simply aren't bullish enough on Dimension, man. And I'll show you why. I'll show you
Had a
why.
dimension fractal, probably still sitting there. Yeah.
I mean, what are we even talking about here? Look at this thing. That's light work. Will, what are we thinking here?
I think you need to go trade sideways for a little bit longer. You got to shake everybody out first.
Look at this. Look at this thing. It's exactly what Celestia did. Everything. The GP, it's identical.
Like this, but this is the setup on a lot of things right now. A lot of things are primed to run.
What else
Graph,
is set up like
Akash,
this?
Gem,
No.
like they're bro, Akash for sure. 840 mil market cap.
Yeah, but like what's the
100% has tons of room.
okay, yeah. But what's the EV? What's the expected value? What is it?
Bro, I think
AKT?
Akash is gonna run to like a render, and then much higher.
I mean, here's the thing though, it's already up a ton.
Man, they're gonna.
It's up 10x, dude.
It's bro, it is. I know. I was looking at it at $1, but here's the thing: it is 840 mil market cap, man. It's not even a $1 billion valuation. This is an RWA play all day, right? It's a real world asset play. So is GRT, real world asset play. Render, real world asset play. Like these RWAs are going to run in 2021, or not 2021. Well, basically 2021, but we call it 2025. But yeah, these things are going to run.
For sure. No, yeah. I mean, dude, everything's gonna run, right? Literally everything's gonna
No,
run.
I'm just saying, like, there's the upside potential here is pretty nuts, man. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's pretty. Like Tommy even saw it in GRT, and that's something Tommy wouldn't even bid
You're right. I
previously.
won't bid. I still won't bid graph, but I saw the upside opportunity. I think it's a good
It's
signal
there.
for risk, though, that all these charts look like that. Though, I mean, you can pretty much bid anything and make money here over the
Exactly.
next few weeks.
The problem with charts like this is there are just so many bag holders from up here. So many.
I would
graph in
argue different.
2021.
I would argue different. I would think that
You don't
most of
think
your
there's
retail is
bag
probably
holders?
washed.
You don't think there's bag holders in here?
No, I think people saw it a loss at a certain point, and your holders go down.
No, I
Immensely.
agree. I agree, but when you compare with something with a fresh chart, right? Like people whose break even is like right here, and they're like, "Oh, thank God I'm out." You know, "Oh, thank God I'm out." Like
But
there will be.
yeah,
Real.
that's Bitcoin though. That is Bitcoin. That is Ethereum.
I mean, yeah, but like
Graph is
you're
Ethereum.
much more likely to hang on to Bitcoin and ETH than you are like some random shit coin. Right.
There's always exchange of hands, but Render has a real world use case. Even though it didn't, right, previously. Like these have turned from vaporware to real world asset plays. So I think that they will run based on that.
Yeah,
Will,
no,
I,
I mean,
I do
I'm
want
sure
to
it's
commend
around.
you for that Filecoin play, because when you were buying it at the lows, I was thinking like, what the hell is this guy thinking? And now it's like, it's one of the best AI narratives in crypto. So it's funny how that works. But I wanted to shout you out for that. Filecoin looks great.
The chart
on
is
a high time
unreal.
frame.
Bro, Filecoin is next level, man. People are just like ignoring the obvious at this point. So again, this is another one of those that plays into the cycle. As this is how you can tell whether a cycle is frothy or not. You can play a coin like Filecoin when you start to see more and more onboarding, and you start to break highs. You're probably at your pico high of the market because it means that people are feeling very comfortable and they're starting to use these decentralized storages, and these things run from the lows, right? And so because they run from the lows, you got these, and then you also get the launch pad plays, right? Both of them, they all pick up from the floor, and they do immensely well, and they start to peak out extremely high, and then you can kind of call a top on a market based off of these coins and these coins alone. I
What
don't
you
know if I
doing
cut
there,
out there.
Tommy?
What?
You're on screen, brother. What are
Oh,
you
I'm
doing?
on screen.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm being watched. Yeah, I mean, I think render's about to just freaking set, man. It looks so good, honestly.
I would argue though, Oki. I know you may feel that way, but Filecoin has the best narrative for RWAs in the entire space when it comes to decentralized storage. And not only that, they're building very depend oriented and focused. And so like people say it's dead, but it's kind of like when people said Sol was dead, right? And what's going to happen is it's going to start to play out just like how Sol did, and it's going to start to chad like immensely, immensely.
He said
Yeah,
ICP can do it better.
I mean, I do think ICP is a good play, and like if you've played the network, you know this. If you play with their canisters and stuff like that, but the issue with ICP is a lot of people are pretty upset. I think ICP runs later. That's the thing, and I don't think ICP attracts everybody. Filecoin has a specific use case. ICP has many, and to be involved with ICP, you have to be involved with the entire ecosystem. Some people aren't trying to do that.
Yeah, I'm definitely an ICP fader, but I do recognize that it's like one of the most probably one of the coins with the most amount of traction right now on TikTok, which is notable. There are going to be funds that make like a yearly that hit their yearly benchmarks solely off of understanding like the best TikTok plays at some point, or having like a TikTok scraper. That's my thesis for the next cycle, or one of
I
them.
do have one more comment to Die Night. Yeah, no, I think ICP will do well too. That was actually one of my calls. Cardano, if you've ever used it, Die Night, I don't know if you've used it or not. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. I have used it because usually if I talk about something, I've tried it. Um, it's the slowest thing I've ever seen in my entire life when it comes to moving Cardano or moving anything on their network, because their block confirmation has to confirm on both sides. It has to confirm on the send side and the receive side, and arguably is as slow as Bitcoin when it comes to moving it. So yeah, I hate that about Cardano. I know it's got good security, but I absolutely hate having to move it.
Man, that looks so good. And it also probably means Nvidia's finding a bottom here. But I was talking about this on the Giga Chat call, man. Like, you can't even trade Nvidia right now. You can't even trade Nvidia because the options are so damn expensive.
You've essentially been priced out on Nvidia.
Yeah, even the options, even the
You
options.
literally can't trade the options. They're you can't trade them. It's unbelievable.
Well, you can. It's just the cost of capital is like most people probably can't trade Nvidia.
Yeah, for sure. Manta Sui Arb have been requested, Tommy.
Manta Sui Arb.
I mean, hey,
Sui fractal I got, man.
bro,
So clean.
But Tommy, we got Sui at the absolute pico bottom.
Yes.
42 cents called in the Discord. 42 cents called the Discord. It doesn't matter how much it retraces, you still win.
Yes,
You
you will
still
win
win.
with Sui. I'm a believer in Sui, a believer. Good coin. It's just doing what Render did back here, right? You know,
Yeah, I
a lot
like
of
that.
a lot of coins are doing this right now, like the 3 drive bleed back into the support of the first drive type of pattern. I think Sui's doing the same. Say did it. This is the pattern I pulled it from. Is Say. I figure these will just probably trade as the exact same thing. Yeah. So Sui's just like right here. It's just a bunch of alts at different parts of the cycle. I apologize for this. It didn't play out. Ignore that.
Sui is one of the best networks out there, Crypto Shark. Not to mention, it is the meta team is the one behind Sui. So I don't know if I think it was Laptos or something like that. Tommy, I don't remember what the old Libra. The old meta coin that they were creating was called Libra. That team was then dissolved, and then that team then split into two. Half of the team went to Sui, half of the team went to Aptos. And if anybody knows how to build anything, especially in crypto, or at least has some legitimacy behind it, I would say it would be any of your big tech players, which at one point was those teams that are now split into Sui and Aptos. So because I would assume that those guys know their stuff. If Meta hired them to create Libra, and then they kind of split off and did their own thing. So in that case, I'm very bullish on both of those teams.
Yeah, I mean, Manta just looks like a worse version of Alt Layer.
Libra was the coin that Meta, aka Facebook, was trying to create in the crypto space.
People don't seem to want to bid Manta the same way as the other modularity coins. So looking at with this. Oh,
Yeah, I've noticed that as well.
it's Pepe, Fractal, and Bonk. Yeah, something like that.
It was going to be a payment system, All Might. That's what it was going to be. That's what Libra was going to be.
What other coins we want to look at? ARB. Let's look at ARB.
Oh, we got some Hextovins.
It kind of doesn't look that good. I don't know what to make of this chart. Maybe it's like this pattern we were looking at earlier with AI. It's more like that. Let's see if it lines up. Is it about to be ARB season?
Bro, I was talking about this, Tommy, and everybody's like, oh, TVL doesn't matter. ARB arguably still growing, man. Still growing. Actually, I think growing faster than Ethereum, to be honest with you. As weird as that sounds on the TVL side. I think Apes or Yuga is going to be using the Arbitrum, and they see it too. I think that's why they're using it.
I saw Ape was green yesterday.
What's that?
I saw Ape was green yesterday.
Yeah. I would say this. I wouldn't fade Yuga Labs. They're not idiots, right? They're not idiots. They know where the money is. And they are using the Arbitrum chain to create, I think, whatever they're going to call Ape Chain or whatever, or Ape, whatever they're trying to create, it's going to be done on the Arbitrum blockchain. So this is going to be pretty interesting. I think that that's a pretty interesting move from them. And I think that that's going to play into Arbitrum just kind of proving that it's a pretty strong play.
That $1 support. Ba-dum, ba-dum.
Partnership announced, boys.
Oh, hell yeah. Let me hit that retweet button.
If you guys didn't know, we just locked in the partnership with the Pandas. A bunch of Chads on that team. So there's some stuff going on. So check out those tweets. Yeah. But yeah, we've been locking that in recently. It's been a great experience, honestly.
Yeah,
so.
but Oki too. That just so you know, like that's most chains. Like Uniswap does that. All swaps do that. It's what they okay. So how they funnel that is not just printing out of thin air. They're not the U.S. government. They actually take part of the fees that they create through transactions and they add those to the liquidity pool while also simultaneously printing new tokens and giving them to the users of the platform as rewards. And so it's a give and take. And sometimes, or actually a lot of the time, when you're in a bull run, that give is a lot more valuable than that take. And so even though they'll be paying rewards won't really necessarily increase, but the fees will based on how many users are using the chain. And so your fees will outweigh your overall, we'll say, printing, unlike the US government. And in that scenario, you will end up with a liquidity floor that starts to rise and continues to rise, aka brings Filecoin's price action up. Just so people know kind of like what the thought process of the play is. In a bull run, you'll do well. In a bear run, you'll get crushed. Basically, I guess that's a simplistic answer.
Totally forgot about VMAX, man. It's been running that Matic fractal I've had on it for the longest time.
Beam's finally moving. God, I
Look
remember
at that
trading
Tucker.
that thing. Going what?
I don't know,
7.5?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I like it. I like it.
Yes.
No, how File does it is people that are buying into the chain, aka buying the token to use it to be able to have storage. That money goes into the liquidity pool, and then they reward those who stay. I mean, it's a circle of life, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger as more and more users come in.
Does this mean Bitcoin's about to Chad? Not that it means ETH's about to go, because I don't think ETH really looks like it's about to go aggressively down. Does this mean Bitcoin's about to Chad against ETH?
Yeah. Dude, I could totally see Bitcoin just stealing the show for a little bit.
Man, oh man. How would that even look?
Hey, pandas are where it's at, man. Pandas are where
See
it's
that
at.
comment, Tommy?
Which one?
On the screen, bro.
Tucker's honorary is honestly so sick. I love mine, but
No, yours is nice too. Yours is nice too.
Oh, but I didn't know about the honoraries. What the heck?
Sorry, Will. They were limited spots, brother. Had to be
There's
done.
no such thing. Did they get a Wabi one?
Mm-mm. Nah. Only loyal panda holders, man.
Bro, I haven't sold a single panda. What are you talking about?
I know.
I was about to say, doesn't he have some?
Yeah, he definitely has some. He definitely has some.
TIA bottom soon. Good confluence. Slurp the yearly VWAP. But I think Bitcoin's going to give us some sort of like, they're going to take out these late longs from this this Tucker. I don't know if you were here when or if you were watching when I showed it, but I think these guys probably get run at least.
You think we retest the top of that cloud?
I don't know about that.
What is that, 47, 48?
Yeah, I think if you were going to do that, you wouldn't have wanted to see this bounce back. Like you would have wanted to see price action like this, right? Like that slope, but we're breaking out of that slope. So it's kind of an invalidated idea.
No,
Gotcha.
okay. I was talking about swaps, not exchanges. I was just explaining from like a exchange or from like a swap standpoint. Oh yeah,
We
just
could
DM me, bro. I can give you the breakdown on it.
just go sideways for like ever. That would be great. Let's go back and look at this Bitcoin price action then. What do we do here? It's kind of hard because the tops were so much more erratic. This is kind of interesting though. I did not ever see that price action when I look back. but that looks a whole lot like our range, man, that we just exited out of.
Hang on, let me see. Yeah, it
does.
does indeed.
Not that I think
Top-
that.
I was
top
telling
is
him this could be the 25K play up here, Tommy.
25K. What do you mean by that?
Where we hit 25K, bounced up we hit 30, came back to 25, hit 32, came back to 25, and then ran.
Do we have another kill shot in us? Oh man, that would be hysterical if Bitcoin just ripped again.
What, 62 to 50?
I don't know if I adhere to it.
Yeah, man, I would do that. 57K level is a big level.
If you get above 55, you're running, Tucker. You are running for the hills.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The hills being the highs.
57.
Just do it from this.
All you got to do is cross that 55,
macro.
man.
I bet you chill out at the 786 for a second. 57.
Brother. Max just showed off his panda.
I changed my profile picture to it. Shit, I should make a tweet, shouldn't I? I'm not the best tweeter, honestly.
There's no way we're about to do what I think. Like, there's no way it's gonna do that, man. Right?
Tommy, but it could 70.
Because we didn't go to an all-time high in 2019.
Oh man.
So realistically, these shouldn't be saying that. But
Yeah.
maybe I just need to massage it a little bit better. That's probably a bit more reasonable. But it's like, it's hard to really measure 2019 Bitcoin price action against current price action because the volatility is so different. But I am definitely seeing the range we just shot up above in this for sure.
All Might says change your PFP, Tucker.
Huh?
All Might says change your PFP.
I did, bro. Bro, check my Discord and my Twitter. It's already there.
Let me
corporate
check the Twitter.
PFP. It's all there, boys. Go check it. I changed it immediately, bro. That panda is insane.
Has it got the Apple headset on?
No, I wish. They did make that trait, though, which was
Bro.
hilarious.
You should have added it. It's got a bear. Oh, dude, that's
It's
ridiculous.
Sick.
That is ridiculous.
Dude, their art guy is an absolute savage. I literally just sent him the bear pic with the bear like this, and he's like, "Oh, I got you." I was like, "Wow, Max,
Boys, how are we?
Big day,
man. Got the Pandas partnership today, man. Sorry I'm late. We were making some real last minute changes. Then the website started bugging out at the last minute, so we had to get the devs involved. But yeah, we got it done, man. I'm so excited to be working with them. And guys, every single Thursday, I don't know if you guys mentioned this, we're going to be doing a show with the Pandas, man. So it's going to be fun. Pretty sure, I know it'll be on Twitter for sure, or X. It might also be on YouTube. I'm not sure at this point, but yeah, it's going to be incredible. It's going to be really incredible. What they're doing over there is just fantastic. Obviously, you guys know we've been long time supporters of the Pandas. We were aggressively scooping them in early Q4 of last year, watching them all throughout the bear market just build and grind. And I mean, you have to love that story. And it's similar to ours. Like, you know, they crushed it during the bear market, man. They were building during times when it was not easy to build. And that's relatable. And I'm willing to bet on people that have that grit in them, you know, that have that dog in them.
Got that dog in them.
They have a podcast, the Overdogs podcast, man, but they really do. You know, what they're doing is fantastic. So lots to come, guys. Lots to come. Did you guys already show the Pandas on here?
We haven't showed the honoraries yet. Hang on. I'm about to tweet about mine, then we can pull it up.
I'll put you on the stage, Tucker.
Huh?
The dime bull toasting. That's
Hey,
the
man,
Dimension does actually look fantastic.
dude, it looks great, guys.
That little, so we like, yesterday we set that low below $7. We took out all the wicks of that range. And then this morning early, we swept below that wick, huge swing fail. I feel like that marks your bottom on Dimension. It
Yeah.
looks really good.
Okay.
Somebody showing a panda.
I will right now. Okay. Let's see here. Let me just put the
Who's this
hand
All Might guy in the comments, man? I don't even.
some crazy dude, man. All right, I just sent out a tweet. All right, now let's see if I can. You gonna just
Yeah, look at that thing.
Oh,
Who
come
could have
on,
foreseen Tucker?
come on. Oh man,
It's the fingers for me.
dude.
Oh man.
I don't know how they did it, bro. It's awesome.
We just talked with Larry Fink, guys. There's a Compi Panda ETF in the works. So it's the future of finance, guys. We're pretty excited about it.
It is. It is. If you guys want to show yours, you should. Tommy, yours is great. Max, yours is awesome too. They're all fantastic, bro.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Yeah.
Dude, look at that thing. It's a panda inside of a bear.
He's even got teeth on the top and bottom, bro.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
No, I'm thrilled to be working with them. It's a really sharp team. It's going to be incredible when the floor is at like 10 just for like the real basic pandas, infinities will be 20, 30, 40, 50 by the end of the bull market. We need to close the gap between the pudgy penguins and the pandas, man. It's like the ETH BTC pair. It's just bleeding right now, but I think we found our floor. So the Compi Panda pudgy penguin valuation is going to start moving up here pretty soon.
Oh, it definitely is.
Yeah.
It definitely is. Yeah, I was showing this one earlier, Max.
Yeah, I mean, who could have foreseen? That's a real thing too.
This is a real thing, man.
Do you remember the chop zone of death that we were in there for TIA? It shook me out.
Yeah,
I was trying to trade it on leverage, and it just
Zone of death.
I made $100 and I
It
sold.
looked like that, man. Yeah, it looked like this when we were trading it at the time. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this. Oh, it was disgusting. Yeah. And then one day, out of nowhere, it'll just do that. Completely out of nowhere.
It will. I think what's going to happen is we need some short interest to build up on it. We need funding to go negative. And then I feel like it's just going to squeeze and blow out all the guys that are just hedging to try to arbitrage the staking rewards they're getting. That's kind of what we need. Because right now they're getting paid, 25% APY to stake. So
And
funding
to short because people are mostly long.
Yeah, see, they're just arbing it, man. There's really not that much of an incentive to change it. So eventually that's going to end. Funding is going to get expensive to short, hopefully. And then I think we'll probably see the staking rewards drop to like 15% or less. And then it's just going to rip everybody that's short above 750, just rip their heads off.
Yeah. I could see it. Well, what else do you guys want to look at? I mean, look at this. Who could have foreseen? Bottom.
I pretty much went through my full catalog today, guys, including that whiff. That whiff alpha is going to be a kingmaker, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Max, I'll show it to you after the stream, but we're whiff is basically doing what SHIB did when it bottomed. We love to see it.
I would love to see that, Tommy. We had a question here. Guys, do you mind explaining when to use market cap chart versus USD price chart for fib extensions? I'm not sure I understand. Market cap chart.
They were talking about, Tommy, you and Will were talking about, or somebody else was talking about, putting on like to adjust for supply. Chart. Like just doing like
yeah, no, I see like Sol's market cap versus like Sol USD, and it's inflationary. Like so I got you. Yeah, I would probably really only use market cap when you're dealing with an asset that's got a relatively high inflation rate, so that it will adjust. So I mean, for example, if you looked at Sol market cap versus Sol USD, you would see that it dramatically shifts the valuation when you look at it in market cap. In terms of market cap, we're a lot closer to an all-time high than we are in just USD terms.
Yeah, definitely.
Because Solana has a relatively high inflation rate. So
there. So is it more or less important to flip levels on market cap or price?
I think both. I don't know if there's a concrete answer, right? I think it's context.
Because look at Sol, man. Imagine you flip this.
Market cap's a sentimental flip. Price is more of, I think, an emotional and momentum flip, and probably more important to the immediate term price action. But market cap flips, I think, are more like sentimental, if that makes sense. So like, I mean, because people always benchmark assets against one another, so I think they're good targets to reevaluate your thesis usually when you flip a market cap, for example. Like Spell, I remember that was Will definitely played this. The whole like Spell to Maker flip, that was a whole thing back at the end of 2021. And once Spell flipped Maker, it got pretty close to a top. So it's like once you flip those market cap levels, it's like you almost get these sentimental shifts. Whereas I think with price flips, you can visualize the strength, and it feels more like a beginning rather than sometimes an ending, if that makes sense. I think I kind of butchered that explanation, but
no, I follow you. Yeah, I mean, what's that?
No, go ahead. I remember one of our guys, Enas, wanted me to look at alt layer on fibs, but I'll just do that. Just go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I mean, in a broader sense, guys, like I don't know how much you guys talked about this or like where the show went, because I just joined obviously kind of late, but I really don't think this little sell-off is anything to worry about, guys. Like I'm seeing select alts that have been pretty strong, looking like they're really trying to carve out bottoms here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, things actually look pretty good in my opinion, and that's the thing. Like you look at your watch list, and it's just like red across the board. Something down 2%, 5%, 8%. And it feels like a lot, but this is a bull market pullback kind of day. I think the days for at least the next year or so, in my opinion, the days of 50 basis point bleed being a lot are over. Your scale needs to shift here. I would argue that. So increased volatility and expansion to the upside is going to lead to bigger pullback days. This is a little nothing. We're backfilling some low time frame inefficiencies and holding structure. I think that Dimension's going to end up looking like alt. I'm kind of seeing some similarities there.
Yeah, I like these for alt. Yeah, you haven't even hit that 1618 yet. You think Dimension's gonna look like alt? I mean, let's see. On log, no. Okay, good. Take it from here to the first.
Just like a lot of these new projects have a similar opening picture that they like to paint.
Yeah. I don't think it doesn't look quite this like Dimension's just gone sideways for like almost 2 weeks at this point. Which is more or less what Tia did. Like I think it'll look more like Tia. I think Alt is probably leading like Manta and like I haven't even looked at this one, but like XAI. Didn't mean to do
And this is something I wanted to talk about. Actually, after the show, I have to make my my 10-minute max video of the day,
that.
and I'm not going to spoil it here because I'm sure we'll get some people watching it as well. But I wanted to touch on this idea, and I think you're painting this picture where right now an altcoin is an altcoin. All right, people are going to overthink where they put their money. I see people online every single day arguing like, oh, you should buy this. Oh, this coin's better than this one. Here's the deal. If we are right about where this market cycle's at, everything is going to pump. Some will outperform, yes, but more or less everything that's new is going to pump about the same, unless it's just a total crap project, and they really mess things up. But some of these like solid projects that we're watching here, people that over rotate towards the thing that's up on a given day are going to end up underperforming because everything's going to pump, but it's just kind of a hot ball of money. All right. So when we're looking at things like alt versus XAI, maybe alt is leading temporarily, but XAI is probably going to pull the exact same fractal or move. And smart money is going to look at this and go, all right, if XAI goes up to 91 cents, like Tucker has drawn there, is that the 3.618? And XAI is just kind of ranging, people are going to look at that and go, okay, I bet XAI probably follows suit and does a little game of catch up. It's kind of like it's a smaller version of what we've been talking about with Bitcoin and ETH, where Bitcoin flipped that April and May of 2022 complacency shoulder high, and we've been waiting for ETH to play a game of catch up and presumably take out that 35 to 3600 level, which is that same April and May complacency shoulder that everything had. So yeah, I mean, point being is just like, don't overthink this, right? Like your alt will pump unless you're just in some complete garbage, which is out there, of course. But the stuff that we talk about on the show on a daily basis, and I know a lot of you guys, you're in the Discord stuff you guys are in, everything's gonna pump, So maybe one project pumps a little bit more than another one. That always happens. But don't over rotate. Don't chase the thing that's up on any given day or week, because everything's gonna pump if we're right here.
Mm-hmm. The 3K rejection on ETH was just
it was too predictable.
We knew, yeah, you knew they were going to do that.
But I don't think it's a problem. Like dude, we're sitting at what 29.20 right now.
Look at these SR flips that ETH has done, just with the wicks. Like,
draw the next one at 3,000. Draw that.
Yeah, literally from the wick to here. I mean, just a little.
It's just gonna keep climbing.
Just keep doing that. Yeah, ETH looks good. ETH looks good. I think most things look pretty decent here. I mean, you could argue you could argue that we had this and now we're here. I don't know. Let's get rid of the Mars. Yeah. Yep, higher. That's all I. That's all I get.
Higher. Bitcoin higher than
higher.
Dude, I refuse to sell anything, man. Like, it's not happening. I can't possibly look at this chart and I can't look at total 2 and total 3 and sell any altcoin. I can't do it. I cannot do it until presented with new information.
Max, Tommy had a fantastic fractal for Bitcoin earlier. I don't know if you saw that or not.
Tommy.
Which one?
The one that goes directly to 75K.
Basically, yeah, the 70K. It's so Tucker, can you go to the 2019 price action?
For Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Guys, are we at 100 likes yet? I haven't even checked here.
Look
97. Come on, boys. Get on your horse. Let's go. 3 more
at that
likes. Let's get us to 100. Come on now. I know I wasn't here today to bully you guys into liking the stream, but it makes a huge difference. Guys, we sliced through 4,000 subs on YouTube. Sliced through it. We're growing like crazy, man. Right there on the chart is where the Because Bitcoin YouTube channel is right now. right there. We like just had a swing fail at what, 10K. We're a little higher than that now. We got back above that high, Tucker, right there. We're just to the right. We're just on our ascent right now, and that's because you guys always show up and you like and you share the video and you support us. We're on our ascent.
Tommy,
Can you go to the range right before that blow off in 2019?
this
We were saying, yeah, I was looking at that on the 4-hour max. It looked a hell of a lot like the range we just exited.
Hang on, we got to do this on the 4-hour.
But it also means that we keep melting higher.
Let's go, Tommy. When my quant named Snorlax gets bullish, the question I ask you guys is, what are we even talking about here?
Hang on, yeah. Let's
And I think this would kind of like explain that Bitcoin, that ETH Bitcoin price action we've been looking at too, because this is probably a Bitcoin pump. And then you see it go into alts over the next like year.
So talk to me.
Oh, I see it. I see it for sure.
Yeah.
Like you're
It
here.
looks so similar. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that's where we're at.
Goodness gracious. But also we don't want that because
Maybe a little bit higher, but like
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Fractals work for a little bit. So like we could get that next leg up, Tucker. And we don't have to jeet completely after that, because how many times the past 6 months were we following a fractal perfectly to a T, and then it basically exits the fractal and stops working. It like follows it perfectly for a month and then just stops. So it's like, I think you need to look at it contextually and say, yeah, we could probably be there within this larger move, but it doesn't necessarily have to fully play out. When does a fractal over 6 months play out the entire time? It rarely ever happens. Never.
It doesn't. Just let us be bullish and cherry pick. It's fine. It's fine. I get it.
Yeah.
No, that's real. I agree. I agree.
Block any bearishness out of my ears. Like I won't acknowledge it. I can't right now.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think.
The signals are not there quite yet.
It would be like that, man. If you did the whole thing, I think it would be like. I just wanted to play it out to here and exclude COVID, just in case, for posterity. Oh no, where'd it go? No. Okay. All right, let's see here. Boys. I just want to have a little fun with it. Okay. Whoa.
Holy moly.
Hang on.
Oh, baby.
Oh, baby.
Would that even be the worst thing in the world? If we do that and then reaccumulate after the halving and then just melt up after that?
Reaccumulate.
Yeah, the reaccumulator. That wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, I don't think.
Again, everybody who wants this FVG fill just gets destroyed again.
Did you see my reply to one of the Because Bitcoin tweets yesterday?
No.
I said, do you think Larry Fink is waiting for the 4-hour FVG to fill?
No, I don't.
I
also think this probably isn't. I don't want to say it's not possible, but it's not as likely now that there's literally just 500 million being shoved into Bitcoin on a daily basis. Like it makes it harder, right? Like
I think it's extremely unlikely that happens, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. Like I could see you cutting the fractal off like here, maybe, right?
I would go as far to say I don't think we're going to melt straight up like the fractal has, and I don't think we're going to sell off afterwards like the fractal has.
Yeah,
I don't think the fractal is going to play. I think it's interesting, but I don't see a move that quick happening, honestly. I don't know what would spark a move that quickly. I think we've basically been stair-stepping up for like 15 months now.
Yeah, I think we're
going to continue to just print the 2015, 2016 parabola, just like you have right there, Tucker.
Yeah.
We don't have these spastic, like, I don't know, spastic, inefficient, misleading moves like that fractal would imply anymore. We haven't had them in a while. But we have been going for an hour and a half, guys. So might be time to, after this.
Hang on, we gotta try out the old sniper real quick.
Oh dear.
It's not looking good, bro. It's not looking good. Just ignore those. Don't fade the green ones. Don't fade the green ones, man. The green ones hit better than the red ones, but we are decently extended from the old bull market support band. So, but now it's at 40K, 41K. So it's like, I think this can be served as your floor for any pullback throughout the bull market, probably.
I bet that. So, guys, what that is it's just the 20-week SMA and 21-week EMA put together in a band. I bet right now, with how quickly we've been moving up, I bet it moves up like 2K a week. So every time we get a new weekly candle, I bet it moves up 2K, something like that.
Yeah.
So there's also a scenario where we don't have to pull back to that band and price ranges and consolidates and the band meets it higher. That's also possible. Or we nuke to it. Or we completely ignore it because Larry Fink isn't watching the bull market support band.
Dude, he's not. Oh, man.
All right, guys, let's call it here. We've been going for an hour and 32 minutes. Guys, thank you so much for being here. As always, please consider liking and then also subscribing if you have not yet. This is Market Check brought to you by Because Bitcoin. We are live 5 days a week, Monday through Friday at 10:55 a.m. Eastern Time. We talk charts, price, narratives, generally just have a great time. Furthermore, check out the first link in the description below. It will take you to becausebitcoin.com/premium, where you can browse our premium services and read our reviews. Guys, the Discord is growing like crazy. Right now, it's $149 per month. It's $5 a day. In less than 2 months, when we drop our new flagship product called the BB Terminal, which is basically a Bloomberg terminal, but for crypto guys, you're going to want to use it. That's going to be bundled together with the Discord, and prices are going to go up dramatically. So get in before that price increase, guys. Check out the first link in the description below. It's a fantastic experience, guys. We share all of our active positions. We do 2 hours a day of private live voice calls with the entire team and community. We narrate everything that's going on in these markets twice per day. Again, 2 hours a day of private calls. Nobody else is doing that, guys. Nobody else is doing that. It's a really great experience. We share premium analysis that we don't talk about here on YouTube or on Twitter, so definitely consider checking that out. And also, again, you're going to get in now. Your trading's going to feel it. You're going to love it. And then you're going to get the BB terminal and early access to it. And you're going to want to use it. So with that said, let's kick it over to Snorlax to say a final farewell.
All right, guys. Yeah, great show today. Shout out everybody who liked the video. Super excited to announce the partnership with the Pandas as well. So make sure to check that out on Twitter and look at all that hype. And yeah, I'm sure you'll be hearing about it more on our shows here over the next few days, the next few weeks, next few months as we head into this bull run. But that's all from us, guys. A reminder to check out some of our programming here at Because Bitcoin. We have Market Talk. I guess we don't have it live today because it is a Wednesday. Special perk, I don't know if Max mentioned it yet about the Discord, is that we give an extra long call in the afternoons to our Giga Chads on Wednesday, or in general just one day out of the week if markets are closed on Wednesday for whatever reason, which I don't think there's ever a day where markets are closed on Wednesday, so I don't know why I said that, but either way, guys, we always give our Giga Chads an extra day one day out of the week where we really go long on those Giga Chat calls and really try to give you guys as much alpha and as much extra stuff as possible. But when we don't do that, we have Market Talk live Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, hosted by King Wabi. That's a Twitter Spaces. They talk stocks, crypto. As I always say, they have some really exceptional guests on that show very frequently. I mean, pretty much every day. So definitely worth tuning in. Make sure to tune in for that throughout the week. And of course, Market Check. We are live every single day, every single morning. Well, not every single day, every single weekday. We can't give you guys that weekend alpha. That's for our families. But we are live every single weekday on Market Check, typically around 11 a.m. Eastern time. Market Talk, I don't think I said the start time, but it usually starts around 4:15 to 4:30 Eastern time. But that's where you guys can catch us next. Otherwise, you can join the Discord, get some of our alpha right now, some fresh cooking. But I'll go ahead and wrap up here, guys. Happy Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow. And thanks again for tuning in.